All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Living the Dream podcast. Today on the show, we have Bill Heinrich, who is the Divine Purpose Guy. Bill, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Timmy. How are you? Thanks for having me on the show.
I'm fantastic, and thanks for coming on. We like to jump right in. So if you could start with telling us a little bit more about yourself and what you like to do for fun, that'd be great.
Well, I I've been a business owner since the age of 25, and the first 40 something years of my life were miserable. I was miserable. I was so miserable. I walked away from my life almost 30 years ago to find the source of my misery. Uh, and in that, I've uncovered many things and have spent the last 15 years showing people how to live their life purpose. I work with CEOs, executives, uh, very, very powerful tools. I'll tell you about them. For fun, I mean, my whole life is fun. I live in an RV. I can do what I want, where I want, when I want, with who I want, anytime I want. I mean, so that's fun, right? You always have choice. So living in an RV, driving around the country is fun.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Where's your favorite spot that you visited?
Oh, you know, it's not a fair question. There's just too many nice places.
Yeah, yeah,
Really, too many. Just so many nice places. And the nice thing in an RV is I go in and I'm able to be in an area for 3 weeks, so I really get to see it and feel it. So it's really nice.
yeah, absolutely. Tell us a little bit about, so you hated your life so much that you almost, or you did walk away from it 30 years ago. Tell us about what your day to day looked like then. What happened when you first made the change, what adversity you met, and then kind of the transformation.
Well, my life was just chaos, and really, I didn't hate my life. I was just so miserable I couldn't take it anymore. And there's a big difference,
All
right?
right, hit me with that difference because I'm not clear on it.
Okay, you know, people hate is an aggressive form of self-loathing, actually, but it's a very, very deep-seated anger. I didn't have that. I was angry, but not at that. I just said, I've had it.
Yeah,
I can't take it. That's the only reason people change is they're unwilling to live a certain way any longer. So really, I went from surviving to thriving, and that's what we really want to talk today. I Everybody's living life with a blindfold on, making decisions based on who they aren't. That's a fact, yourself included.
elaborate.
Well, we all have life lessons. We can start right there. Okay. Because you have life lessons, that means there's 38 different life lessons. I mean, I've learned so much. I've more than found that what the source of my misery was. I found the key to live in extreme happiness, right? And just imagine we have life lessons. We're born, we come in, they slap our ass, everything kind of goes downhill from there, and they teach us how to survive.
Yep,
Was that your experience?
pretty much.
So there's a thriving side of life that nobody pays attention to, yet it's right in front of us. And that side of life is energy. It's the energetic, it's the non physical side of life. We live in two dimensions. Okay. Now, let me tell you about the importance of energy. Okay. If you don't have any, you're out of here.
Yeah,
Let's start there. Nobody knows what that day is. So that means right away, our lives are out of control. We do not know the day we're living. This is why it's so important to live in the present moment. When we're born, we come in, everybody just teaches us food, water, shelter, survival, work hard, make money, fit in. Just it's all the social, societal policing, all the stuff in the news, everything else. When in fact, inside of me and inside of you is this very unique energy that's your purpose that you're here to share with the world. But everything out in the physical distracts us from it because I'm sure you've heard this, but I want you to think about this saying. In fact, I'll let you finish it. People will never remember what you said, but they'll always remember.
How you made them feel.
We just summed it up.
Yeah.
It's all about feelings. So here's the way it works. Okay. And interrupt me if you have questions. Okay. Because I'll
Oh no,
just start firing.
I'm excited.
Okay. I'll just start firing. Okay. So let me go back to life lessons for 1 second. Okay. There's 38 different life paths with billions of combinations. Okay. I'm able to show a person exactly what their life lessons are. Okay. If you were driving and going over a mountain with snow, you'd make sure you're properly prepared. Yet we go through life with a blindfold on, completely with a blindfold on. You know, friends that have relationship problems, and you go, what the hell? And another friend has money problems, and so, what's the deal? And they have, well, why don't they get it? It's because we all have different life lessons.
Yeah.
So imagine this. If you have a life lesson, would you agree with me then there's something you're here to learn?
Yes, I would.
Okay. Then that means there's something you don't know,
Correct.
which is a huge blind spot that you can be standing right in the middle of and you wouldn't have a clue,
Also very true.
right? So if you want to give me your date of birth, I'll tell you all about your life lessons.
Really?
Yeah, let's do it.
May 4th, 1999. What's this process like?
So, first of all, you're very energetically sensitive. Are you aware of that?
Been becoming more and more aware of it in the past couple of
You're
years.
extremely energetically sensitive. In fact, you don't know where your energy, you take on other people's energy and you think it's yours. That's a real problem. Another area that you have a challenge is in the area of trust and openness. You get a lot of information that you don't share because you're not sure how it fits. And the reason is because your overall your overall life lesson is around creativity and confidence, and it's at a very, very high degree. So there are areas where you play cover up because of your lack of confidence, and there's other areas where you're overconfident to cover up the lack of confidence also. And there might even be some areas you stay away from. Any truth to any of that?
Yeah, yeah, I could say some more confidence in some areas would. I could see where it fits in.
So you're here to learn that lesson. You would also have a tendency to um, you could have an unpleasant disposition towards others with authentic confidence or maybe authority, where you see that they have what you don't, kind of thing. Does that make sense to you?
Uh,
Comparing yourself.
I have gotten out of that comparison.
He's busted. Yeah, yeah. Okay,
No,
listen.
it's how I grew up, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay.
Yeah. And
So
I still
you
have a
have some.
problem with authority if I don't respect that authority.
No, the reason why you have problem with authority
Why?
because you don't see yourself as one. If you did, you'd be equal.
Y- Yes and no. Yeah, I see.
No, wait just a second. Wait just a second. In my world, there's no yes and no. There's only a vibration. And what I said is, believe me, because these are blind spots for you, you'll have trouble even seeing them or understanding some of them until you go through the next week and you go, oh my God, oh my God.
That's fair. I, th-
I guarantee it.
for
Look, the
sure,
stuff,
for sure, that is a struggle in my life where I didn't see myself as an authority, so there was jealousy. But now I see myself as an
Yes,
authority and
that was that
expect
judgment I was
partnership.
just talking about. I was just talking about that, how you were judging other people because they had what you didn't.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
no, for
right.
sure. For sure. So I
Yeah,
spent my whole life.
yeah, right. And the truth of the matter is, your perception of all of that is 100% inaccurate.
Okay.
It's because you got blind spots.
Yeah,
It's that simple.
there we go.
So you got that. There's only one way you can find your way out of them. Well, let me go to the next thing. Are you familiar with chakras?
With what? Chakras?
Shock chakras. Yes, chakras.
Um,
We have energy centers in our body. There are 7 chakras that we have.
I'm not familiar
They
with.
okay. Well, this is where all of our energy comes from. They starts at the root chakra, and there's 7. It goes from the root into the sacral up all the way up to the crown chakra, the top of the head. There's 7 different energy centers. Energy flows through us. Those energies are what make up our divine purpose. There's starting at the root chakra, the energies divine compassion, then divine creation, then uh, divine compassion, divine creation, divine order, divine healing, divine authentic self-expression, divine truth, and divine power in the crown. This is how you express your life purpose, is with these energies. We all have the exact same 7 energies, but we have them in different proportions. So no 2 people are the same. We all want to be, we are different. We should be different. We should be acknowledging each other for being different. The truth of the matter is, we're all very uniquely different, but all trying to look the same on the outside. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So when you don't understand those energies, the energy flows out as penalties. Okay. So, and everybody has very unique, specific energies. Your life purpose is not what you do. Your life purpose is not what you do. Your life purpose is the energy behind every thought, word, and action in your life. That's what creates your purpose. So, I was talking, any questions? Because I can just keep firing here.
I'm curious if you're going to continue to explain. So I'm holding my questions.
Oh, well, I've got a lot of explaining to do. Yeah,
Well, I guess I'm curious. So you say that you help like CEOs, executives get in touch with their life purpose. And so you've talked about the 7 chakras, and then you've also talked about how it's not what you do, but it's the energy behind your thoughts, words, and actions that
that's
is your
correct.
life
Yeah.
purpose. So kind of explain to us how we get in touch with those 7 energies and like
Well,
identify.
we're right in tune, because that's where I was going next.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
I was going to go back to surviving versus thriving. Okay.
Okay.
When you understand those energies, when you understand that you're a human being, that you're a spiritual being having a physical experience, once we finally understand that, we can look at things energetically. We are not called human doings. We are human beings. It's about being. Being is what it's about. We live in 2 dimensions: a physical dimension that you see in front of you, which is all made up. None of it's really even true because everybody sees different things. We live in a non physical dimension, which is energetic. Our head takes care of us, protects us in the physical. Okay. Our head is the engine that takes care of those things. In the non physical, it's our heart. That makes sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Your head cannot come to the present moment. Your head can only regurgitate information from the past and protect you. And it works with the ego. That's all it can do. So, the best you can ever do, the very best you can do in the physical, is end up with lack of clarity, work, suffering. That's it. The best you get out of the physical out there. On the non-physical now, this is different. The other thing is, in the physical, you have fear. You're familiar with fear, I'm sure. In the non-physical, it's impossible. You cannot have fear in your heart. You can only have fear when you're listening to a story from the past, Timmy.
Mm.
You can't have an emotion without a story. Let me repeat that. You cannot have an emotion without a story.
Yeah.
What what people are doing is reliving their stories over and over and over again, and their life is out of control. And the reason it is because their whole focus is in the physical on surviving. When you come over to the non-physical from your heart, your heart's about love. Your heart is the communication center for universal wisdom for all that is. Your head is your communication system for what's going on in the physical. That's what tells you what's going on out there. And it's not even right. Your heart can't express fear. It's not possible. To have fear, you have to be in the physical. Think about that for a second.
I completely agree. Yeah.
You have to be in the physical. And the fear isn't even real. It's based off some story inside you that's not even true. The feeling of fear is real, but the story behind it isn't.
Yeah.
And this is when people talk about issues. Oh, my issues. Yeah, I've dealt with those issues. It's like, oh, okay. I'll show you what's running your life, man, those issues, because whatever enters the system stays there for the rest of your life. I talk to some, oh, no, I had father issues and I've dealt with them. I'm like, well, if they're running your life today, then you think they're over. You're wrong, because that energy is still in there. Those beliefs are still in there. And the only way you can track them is on how you feel,
Mm.
because that's the only thing that's true.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that's true. And it's the only way, Timmy, that you and I can connect. We can't connect intellectually. That's vacant. That's empty. Where we connect is with our hearts. Where I can see, like, you're a very conscientious, caring guy, right? Well, that really wants to make a difference. I can tell that right off. We have that in common right to begin with. That energy. That's an energy.
Yeah.
That's not a belief, right? Do you see what I'm saying?
I guess you.
So the more you understand that the best part of life is just energetic, what's going on out there doesn't matter. What matters is how you show up to it, the energy you show up with. And if you're living in your life purpose, then you're coming from a place of love to be in service for the benefit of all involved. That simple. We don't care what happens. I'm just going to be in the situation with love. I'm going to contribute from a place of love. I'm not going to contribute from fear. Mind you, there's a couple kinds of fear. There's personal. If a person's attacked, that's a different situation. Obviously, we're just talking about the typical insanity that everybody runs through in their heads is what we're
Yeah.
talking about, right?
Yeah. It's interesting you brought that up. Like, I think I've heard somebody talk about the difference between like fear and danger. And like when you're being attacked, you're in danger, but people don't even feel scared when they're being attacked.
Exactly,
They
exactly.
just know what to do. Like it's very clear what needs to happen. And it's because those feelings come into play.
That's a uh, great clarification.
Yeah, and so I'm right with you on the fear being fake and the stories, fueling that fear and negative
Mhm.
emotion. But I guess I'm curious, it, when people start to think about those stories, I feel like that's still addressing it on a head level. So how do we go about getting in the present moment with our feelings? Does that make sense? Does that question make sense?
What do you mean when people start to think of? Give me an example.
So, you might have a story that if you take on too much debt, you'll go bankrupt, and if you go bankrupt, you'll be homeless, and if you're homeless, you'll die. That might,
Well, we all have that. We all have that story,
yeah, yep. That
right?
may be a story that's fueling fear, and you're acting
Mhm.
out of that fear. And so then when you
Mhm.
start to think about that story, I feel like it just
But please understand that the that your familiarity is not with the story.
mm, keep it coming.
You tell me. You know exactly what I'm going to say. You totally just got it.
I mean, yeah, your familiarity is not with the story; it's with the energy.
It's with the energy, the fear of loss. Fear of loss is built into you at a cellular level. And when you recognize this energy, you go, well, no, this is insane. I'm safe. I'm good. And you take care of whatever. You make your choice.
Mm. So the act of recognizing the energy enables you to shift if you so choose.
It's all about choice.
Mm,
That's our what's our greatest asset? The greatest asset we have, most people can't even answer this question. It's free will and choice.
yeah,
Yet we don't use it. When you look honestly at the boundaries that you have on your ignorance, it's laughable.
it is.
It's laughable. Yet, what does everybody do? What does our head tell us to do? Protect where you're at, defend yourself.
Yeah,
You're okay. You're alive. You got some money. You got this. No, no. Let's go live full out. What everybody's really doing is they're all trying to get to death safely.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
There's a there's a payoff. They just, yep, I just want to get to death safely. I mean, what a way to live. I'm living full out. I'm doing my thing.
Yeah, 100%. Well, awesome. Tell us a bit more about your personal motivation. What gets you up and keeps you going every day?
Um, Having a clear understanding of the grandeur of this universe and the information and wisdom that's available to us on the non-physical side. I live a life that I can't even describe to anybody. Anybody that works with me, that many times I work with typically business people, Timmy. Okay. But you want to hear something funny?
Hmm.
We never talk business.
Mm,
Never. We don't need to, because when you understand who you are, you know what choice to make.
yeah,
You know, you know, and you know what you know. You don't know why you know what you know, but you know what you know, and you know. One of those deals,
I agree.
right?
I agree.
When your head comes in,
I've observed it in myself. I'll feel in
mhm.
my heart to make a decision, and then literally, like, I'll be feeling good about the decision for five,
Oh,
ten
the head
seconds.
will come in. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And then it starts disqualifying why I should not do that.
Right, right. Do you know why? Because it wants control.
Mm,
And the minute you challenge your ego, it's like a 2-year old that doesn't get its way. It picks up its big baby rattle and starts banging you with it. But believe me, the more you learn to live from your heart, it just quiets down and goes over and sits in the corner. I mean, it it needs attention. Our perfect example of the way the ego works is Donald Trump. You know, I'm not much, but I'm all I think about. It's all about me, everything about me. That's the
yep.
ego.
Yep.
When you put that aside and say, "Hey, I'm sitting here chatting with Timmy, really nice guy, nice conversation, and we're just like connecting authentically. By the way, we're
Yep.
connecting authentically. We aren't just having some intellectual blah blah blah." And I think that crypto's going to do this or whatever, all that crazy shit, right? So it's about that heart to heart connection. Once you understand that, you can create anything you desire in your life, but you can't create it when you don't understand your life lessons, when you don't understand what's blocking you, because those are all energies that don't support you creating what you desire. Because when you speak to the universe, Timmy, how do you speak to the universe when you want to create and manifest something? How do you do it?
Demand it.
Wrong.
What's the answer?
You be it.
Mm, I like that.
You be it. You be the energy of what it's like for the intention that you're creating, and you let the universe deliver it. I don't even care what it looks like because I know what it's going to feel like. If I tell you what it's going to look like, then I am cut. I have just gone from, I've reduced, the universe is only about expansion. When I decide what it is in the physical, I've reduced my expansion possibilities by 99.9%.
Mm,
It's all because the physical is only about limitation. The number one question in the physical, when you want to do something, accomplish something, the first question you're ever asked, and the first question you ask yourself is the how word.
yep.
Done. But that's not the way it is in the universe. I can sit here and create it energetically. I can go there right now. I can close my eyes and I can go be there and feel the energy of what it's like and be part of it. And that's how you talk to the universe, is with a vibration.
Yeah.
But when you're in disdain for authority, your vibration is not something that is supportive of expansion in the universe, because it's in resistance to love. Because in the universe, everything's just love and a vibration, and the universe is just in a constant state of expansion. We are part of the universe. Everything in the universe is just a vibration. We're all connected. You and I are one. Everything's one. It's all one. It's all one vibration. Period. End of conversation. One vibration with a bunch of buffoons arguing over land and stuff that doesn't matter, because another 30 years, none of us will be here, whatever. I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And so the being it, you talked about going there in your head and having it right now. Uh,
Mm-hmm. Not in my head,
in your imagination,
in my being.
in your being.
My head, my head's like a bad neighborhood, Timmy. I don't go in there alone. Like, it's just, there's nothing good in there, right? Like, it's good if I want to, oh, I think I need to go to the bathroom. It'll tell me how to get there. But I don't let it run my life anymore
Yeah.
at all. In with the pandemic, there's a classic example of surviving and thriving. Do you know that the pandemic had no effect on my life?
Really?
The pandemic is no different than every other day. The only difference is people got to experience physically how much their lives are actually out of control.
Yeah. My life got better because some stuff got canceled.
Right. But it just shows you how your life is out of control.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Did the pandemic change my energy? Not at all. Actually, the word, the funny word. Do you remember what the funny word in business was during the pandemic? It was the big word,
I
right
don't
from this
remember.
pivot.
Ah, yes.
I remember.
Yep.
I'm in a mastermind. Everybody, yeah, I'm going to pivot. I'm going to do this. They get around to me. Bill, what are you doing? I'm going to go sit on the couch. There's nothing different. I've got the same intentions. I'm creating the same things. There's physical limitation. Oh, COVID, a physical limitation. Well, hello. Everything in the physical is a limitation. Just imagine you have these life lessons I was telling you about, right?
Hmm.
And then you have this energy that's flowing out, causing dysfunctional behavior. It's out of your control because you're not familiar with it. It's just the way it is. So, but just think about this. Everybody else is living that way.
Yeah.
So when you're trying to get something done, you're not dealing with a person, you're dealing with somebody that has lessons to learn. If you don't understand that, that's why you butt heads. It's like, what do you mean you don't get it? It's like, oh, it's in the middle of their blind spot.
Yeah.
Everybody has life lessons. everything I teach my clients, everything is, all the resources are free. They're available to everybody anywhere in the universe, regardless of race, color, creed, religion, geography, nothing. These are all universal resources available to everybody, but everybody's just stuck on where they're going to buy their next Slurpee, which 7-Eleven.
Yeah,
Pretty wild, isn't it?
it is. It really is. So the beingness. Hmm. How do you get out of your head and into the beingness? Is there is it something you do? Is it a thought? Is it an action?
Well, depending upon the energies going through a person, one of the energies is something called divine creation. These people have a lot more stuff flowing through their heads than other people. I mean, it's it's mind-boggling. When people work with me, I can change a person's life in 60 minutes. I give everyone I work with a 100% guarantee satisfaction that they're going to live their life purpose quickly. 100% money back guarantee. No
Mm,
one's ever got their money back. The tools are just so powerful. They're so powerful. Once a person understands it, now, because you have everything I'm talking about, you already have, like these energies. When I'm able to show a person exactly what their energies are in their chakras, it's something that I just knew how to do once I continued on this path. It's pretty amazing. But once you see that, it's Katie bar the door, game over. Like your whole life changes in an instant because it answers so many questions for you. And, it's like your confidence, you know, I give you permission to be confident.
yeah,
There you go. Do you accept?
I do accept.
There you are. You know, I have a super conscious mastermind, and a fella joined it last week. He had one session with me, came into the mastermind. At the end of the mastermind, this is true. I can show you the video. He says to me, "What do you think uh, of counseling of psychologists?" And I'm like, I wonder where this question's going, right? I said, I think they're great. Anything that anybody does to improve their life is good. Anything. He said, well, I'm having a little trouble with it. I said, oh, why? He said, I just spent 2 years in therapy and I just learned more from you in 2 hours. Like you changed my life in 2 hours. I spent 2 years and got nothing done. But good for you. Let's keep moving.
Yeah.
Because see, people look at issues, but when you look at an issue, okay, if we chose an issue that you have, and you have a bunch of them, everybody does,
Everybody.
right? But see, when you look at it, you look at it from the story. Yeah, I had that issue with my father. You're looking at it in the physical. I have a question. What energy does that issue generate? And does that energy support you in your intentions?
Mm.
What does mean?
It's it's
That's
me
an
trying to
aha.
process. It's me trying to like it's a way I don't think about anything. Like I don't think about circumstances in my life. I don't think about issues in my life. I don't think about solutions in my life in this context. Like the first, in fact, it's funny. I go to there are like five things for me. It's like you got your beliefs, your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, and your results. And you're like really honing in on feelings. And for me, that was like the mystery box for me. And so I was like, I'll just focus on my thoughts and actions, and then I can think stuff and do stuff that makes me feel different. And so,
I'll throw the other five away and just focus on your feelings.
yeah, that's what you're saying. And that's why I said, because I'm like, I've never thought about it like that. And feelings, it's still a black box for me. So I want you to elaborate on the tools. Cause I'm like, even like I've tried gratitude, lists where you just list off a
You
bunch of stuff?
can't. You look at. Here's the deal. It's all. It's and I'm being honest. Okay. It's almost virtually impossible to get there by yourself.
Yeah,
Okay. The reason for it is we're constitutionally incapable of being honest with ourselves. You don't have the capacity of being honest with yourself. You don't have it. People don't like hearing that, but it's the truth. Because when you look at the stories, you're going to the enemy to get the solution.
yeah,
You're cooked. It's over. Feelings are the most important part of life. The problem is everybody's living out in the physical, Timmy, struggling, and this is why they hate them and they hate the issues. When in fact, feelings are the gold mine to take you to a story that's lying to you.
that is very true. Yep.
Do you know the difference between accountability and responsibility? Which would you choose?
The difference between accountability and responsibility.
Which one would you choose? Well, that'll tell me.
Which one would I choose if what? Just in general, if I could only have one of them,
Well, you have a choice of one. Which you can only have one.
I would choose accountability.
Okay. So you prefer to be a victim
I
because
would
when you're
disagree with that.
accountable, you're answering to somebody else. Yeah, I'm 100% correct. You're accountable to someone else. When you're responsible, you live from free will and choice, and you own the entire responsibility. There's no accountability. I chose to do this. I'm doing it. Hey, that didn't work. I'm going to make a new choice. Hey, Joe, it didn't work. I did this. It broke. I'm going to work on it this way. There's no accountability. There's responsibility and equality from an energetic standpoint. When you're accountable, somebody else is telling you what the finish line looks like. You're answering to someone else. And people live in energetic accountability. Most people do. And they're victims. They don't have the capacity to be responsible. They don't understand what energetic responsibility is. Energetic responsibility is this: I am responsible for everything in my life. That way, I can change it. Outside of me, I can't change it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I could see that. Not quite how I was thinking about it, but
Right? Ah, get rid of that word, thinking.
yeah, yeah, no, I agree with you. I
But
think
like there's words I don't let my clients use, like decision. Never use that word again, ever. Never make another decision in your life. I'm tripping you out, aren't I, Timmy?
yeah, why not
So
decision?
decisions are final. Decisions are stressful. They're overwhelming, aren't they?
Yeah,
What's free will and choice like?
the opposite of that.
Yeah, I can make a different choice tomorrow. Yeah, this is my choice. I've researched it. I'm good with it. I, I'm not answering to you. People make decisions based upon what people outside of them are going to think. What are the neighbors going to think? What are people at work going to think? What about blah, 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 blah. It's all that social policing. I just live my own life. There's nothing you can say to me to hurt me. It's impossible. You can say things and then I can hurt myself,
I feel that.
but you can't. You can't hurt me. In fact, anyone that speaks from a place of judgment, blame, shame, and guilt, they're just speaking about themselves.
Yeah,
They just need somebody else to lay their agony on.
yeah,
And it's not what I would call supportive energy. Would you agree with that?
I would agree. I would agree with that one.
So what questions do you have? What do we have? By the way, I have like a hard stop 2 minutes before the end of the hour. So just
Okay.
to let you know
Okay.
that.
So we got about 16 minutes. Questions I
Perfect.
have. I don't know. You've kind of answered them all. So it's like you track a feeling back to a story, correct?
Hmm.
And once you get at that story,
Instead,
do you replace the story with a story that makes you feel differently?
you love it and you thank it because it's made you who you are today.
Mm.
And then you make a different choice.
So you love it,
You
think it, and then make a different choice that is according to another story that better serves your intentions.
the new story you're writing.
Mm.
I don't have room for you in on this page of my story today. You go over and hang out on the side. I'll check back with you tomorrow.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
that doesn't fit the game plan.
So you get it. So this process is getting an awareness of your feelings. You track it back to a story. You then love and think the story, and then you choose the new story after loving and
You don't
thinking.
you don't love and think it. You just go become you go love the story and become aware of it. Awareness is what creates choice,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Awareness is freedom. And when you live with boundaries this tight, holding your ignorance in, you lose that whole opportunity. But when you remain open minded, when you respect the fact that we're all different, that you have every right in the world to have your opinions and who you are, I've every right in the world. I know nothing about your background. I know you're a pretty nice guy. I've loved connecting with you. You get to be you. I get to be me.
Yeah.
I don't care what you think of me. I used to because I had to get my love by getting your acceptance. That's the way I survived when I was miserable. Would do things just to get acceptance. Was really successful at a young age. I mean, I couldn't keep it because I didn't have the worthiness, didn't have the self respect.
Yeah. Well,
It's all these things that we've just come here to learn, and the more aware that you are of it, the payoff is twofold. One, you live a very calm, peaceful, loving life pretty quickly with every choice. You know, I mean, and you live in this massive expansion. Like the expansion is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Stuff just lands. It just comes in and lands. I don't need to go out and look for it. I don't need to market for clients. You know, in fact, the fellow that just joined my group, listen, heard me on a podcast. He was like, "Oh man, did I connect with you? Like it's energy. It's
yeah.
all energy." And and I got clients in Fortune 100s. It, it's all the same. It's just energy. The titles and all, who cares? They're dealing with the same thing at just a different level. Just a different level.
Absolutely. So
I mean,
curious. Usually we get into dreams and goals, and so I kind of want to get to that before the 13 minutes is up.
stop it.
That's what I thought you were gonna say.
Why? Why would I say that?
It just takes you out of the present, gets you away from
Yeah.
that energy you're talking about.
It puts you, what it does is attaches you to the physical.
Hmm.
So let me ask you a question. I just want you to experience this for a moment. Okay. Just close your eyes for a second. I'm going to take you to the French Riviera.
Okay.
It's warm. You can smell the salt air. Your plane just landed. You got out. You jumped into your Maserati. The top was already down. Didn't have to worry about luggage. Everything's being delivered. Started driving through the streets in the car. Ooh, was it exhilarating? What does it feel like, Timmy? Tell us.
You want to know honestly what it feels like.
Yeah,
Feels like it's all about to go away.
yeah. There's your beliefs.
Yeah.
Stick
So
with them, brother.
it's the fear of loss.
How's that? That's lack of self worth, is what that is.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
See, isn't it amazing? You need to do that visualization more.
it is.
Except, what? Why can't that be you?
There's no reason.
There is no reason. You are right,
Yeah.
unless you're looking at it from the physical. And I'll give you 2 trillion reasons why you don't stand a chance.
Yeah.
Where do you want to hang out?
I'm sorry.
Where do you want to hang out? The physical or the non-physical?
Yeah. No, absolutely. I'm right there with you. So just stop
Isn't it
dreaming some
incredible?
goals.
A goal is something in the physical.
So you're saying whatever. So when people are seeking a goal, when they have a dream, they're probably seeking the energy that that dream's going to bring them, and to just feel
No,
that energy now.
they think that achieving this in the physical is going to give them that energy, and you have to do it opposite.
Hmm.
Like Jim Carrey's famous quote, "I wish everybody in the world would be 100 millionaires or whatever, so that they can see money only makes it worse."
Yeah.
It's all about being. It's all about being. Why do you think that some crazy vast number of people go bankrupt when they win the lottery?
That's a fact.
It's crazy. You
Yeah.
know why? They don't have the energetic resonance to handle that responsibility.
Why do we, as humans, reject this idea so much? Because I mean, I've been learning about heavy for the past 2-ish years, but there's still resistance in me. And before then, I was like, that's a bunch of like woo-woo stuff, just complete craziness. All those people are insane. And I've slowly been opening up to it. And now I'm like pretty on it. But as you just saw, the visualizations are not a like living in the energetic is not
You, you know,
consistent part of my life yet.
this is the beauty when people work with me, because once they learn something, you've learned things today, Timmy. You're going to make a choice. And the beauty of what I'm talking about is you don't need to do sit ups and push ups for 30 days. You make a choice and it happens. It's instant gratification. Boom, done.
Yeah.
It's that fast. Once you understand who you are, you got to have the pieces. And you got stuff in you, feeding you, that tells you you're not going to make it. And it's not true. Okay. Unfortunately, all of your waypoints, all of your guideposts are in the physical. All of the guideposts I give everybody are in the non physical.
Yeah. You know what's interesting?
And those are,
Oh, sorry.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say we were at small group because I'm Christian, go to church. We were with my small group and we were talking about faith and faith in the Bible. And the scriptures were talking about faith, and it was talking about how people had faith and they had, it was like faith that I can't even, it was somewhere in Hebrews, but they had faith that things were happening and they had those things in that moment, which everybody in
Mhm.
the small group was really, really confused, and we really couldn't wrap our heads around it. And I knew a little bit more than they did about the energy stuff, and I was trying to explain it a little bit, but I was like, no, they literally have it. Like it's literally there right now in
Hey,
that moment.
you had the Maserati in the French Riviera.
Yeah, like yeah, yeah, it's
And that's how you create.
hmm
You don't create in the physical, but you don't have to work hard. That's the biggest joke in the world. We don't have to work hard. You learn how to use your energy, and the whole thing changes. It's just fun and games. It's just fun and games. Oh, do you have challenges? Do I have stuff come up? Do I get concerned? Of course, I'm human. I go through, but I know what it is. And it's like, no, I'm not going to play that game today. Thank you very much.
yeah,
It's a choice. So I've written a book on this. It's called The 7 Levels of Truth. 7 Levels of Truth, a direct path to your life purpose. It's available on Amazon. You mentioned being a Christian. Okay. I want to be very clear. What the more you learn about this, all this will do is absolutely expand the depth and intimacy of your faith to a point that'll blow you away.
That's what I've been learning as I've gotten more and more into it. Like anytime somebody talks to me more about it, I'm like, oh, I just understand the Bible completely differently now. And it's like, yeah, just completely revolutionized and has continued to do so.
You
So I don't doubt it.
you don't need to read the Bible. You just need to understand your heart and come from a place of love and watch what happens. And it's that simple. It is that simple.
Yeah.
And when we do that, it's amazing because we're taken care of. All we've come, when you find out that we've really come here just to learn lessons to heal our soul. I am certain of that. I don't know why. I don't know where we came from. I don't know if there's a God. I don't know if it's Buddha. I don't know what it is. There's something going on. And I know we aren't here very long. Like, not even that. We're That was slow motion for the length of time we're here on the earth. When you look at the universe,
Yeah.
we aren't even a blink of an eye, right?
Yeah.
So I now know there is a heaven and hell, but it's here on earth.
Yep.
It's here. That's where it is. No question in my mind about that.
Yeah.
You know, in fact,
Absolutely.
yeah, no question. Let's see. We got one or two more minutes. Do you have any more quick questions?
No,
So
no.
I've kind of
I think I'm all good. I love the talk on just energy, and it really is a I really thought thoughts and actions and focusing on that was enough. But that feelings part, I left it as a
stay
black
away from
box.
it.
Yeah.
Stay away from it. Stay. If you sit with your heart will always tell you the truth.
Hmm.
Your your heart doesn't have a horse in this race. Okay, this horse race is fixed up here, right? You go to your heart; it'll just tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Or what they say, I don't have a dog in that fight, or whatever. Your heart's detached from that. It only knows love. It knows the other emotions, but it can't create them.
Yeah.
They have to be created from the stories. And the universe is just an infinite expansion. Look around you. Everything's expansion. Everything in the physical, it's expanding, growing, bigger, bigger, bigger. Even the universe, they're finding more and more. It's all about expansion.
Expanding into itself.
Everything on earth is all about limitation and struggle.
Mm. Yeah. Well, awesome, Bill. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks. If anybody has an interest in finding out more, or wants to do a 20-minute clarity session with me, they can go to speaktobill.com 20-minute clarity session. And please don't call me for a casual conversation, because you won't have one. We go right to the mat. We get it cleared up quick. Like, because see, when you follow a vibration, right? Like in your issues with creativity and confidence, just look at the vibration of it. Look at what your response in the physical, and ask yourself, do I want to be that vibration?
There we go. Well, awesome. If you guys are listening to
Pretty
this
cool.
and you loved what Bill had to say, make sure to check him out. The website will be down in the show notes. Link to the book will also be down in the show notes. Go pick it up, learn more about what he's saying, talk to him. He's a good guy to talk to.
You're a great guy, Timmy. I really love connecting with you. Love
Yes,
your energy.
loved connecting with you too, man. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next one. On that note, we're out.